All right, let's take a look at these markets. Bring in our good friend Keith Fitz-Gerald. The Dow essentially flat, S&P and Nasdaq slightly higher. Keith, good morning to you. Look, we've got a shortened trading week, but certainly not short on important news. What are you keeping an eye on?
Boy, I tell you what, good morning, and I agree with you 100%. The big thing for me is going to be the Nvidia earnings, because that's going to set the bellwether for how we perceive tech, what's going to happen with China, and a whole lot more. Watching the Microsoft situation, the Tesla saga, and of course the Fed's out there somewhere, but we don't know where just yet.
You say the holiday shortened weeks tend to be, typically a little volatile, but that could present opportunities. What kind of opportunities?
Well, this is like being in the ring with a boxer, right? And you can take your pick, whether it's somebody like Mike Tyson, in which case you'll get pummeled, or somebody like Muhammad Ali, in which case you might get outfoxed and pummeled. So the situation really is going to be one of great flux. You got to be nimble and you got to be prepared. You got to stick to the best names. So what's going to happen, I think, is we're going to have a run up into earnings with Nvidia in particular. Then they're going to try to drop the stock. If you're an investor, that's a great opportunity, because history shows very clearly that kind of stuff is usually a buying opportunity in the rearview mirror, especially during holiday shortened weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming off 3 weeks of gains, Keith, and assuming that, I guess the market assumes that the Fed is certainly done with raising rates. Do you agree with that? And when do you expect them perhaps to cut rates?
Well, it's interesting because you and I have had this conversation a couple times over the years. I don't necessarily agree with the markets on this one. I still think that Team Powell is going to raise rates one more time before the end of the year, and possibly one more time in early Q1 2024. Then I think they're going to have a moment of clarity and begin cutting.
Let me take the other side of this argument. 3 weeks of gains. Are we getting close to being a little overbought, maybe?
Technically, yes, we're probably already there. But I think the mistake many people are making is they're looking at the market using analytics that applied 20, 30, 40 years ago. I would submit, particularly when it comes to certain big tech companies, that were in fact tremendously undervalued if you've got a 3 to 5 year horizon.
Very good. We'll leave it there, Keith. Have yourself a great Thanksgiving. Have a second slice of pumpkin pie for me, my friend. All right,
yes,
here
sir.
we are.
Thank you. Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube, or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.